Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 Monroe Central Seminole football season preview. My name is Rick Russell alongside Coach Jonathan Calder, and we'll be here with you every Thursday night at 9 p.m. To discuss a little Seminole football. So just to give you guys a little explanation as to when Coach's Corner started and how this thing works. Coach Calder and I, we both made appearances on Coach's Corner in the 90s. Coach Acosta started this in 1991, and at the time we had Channel 6, local TV, and we would preview the teams we play that week and talk a little bit about our opponent the previous week, and he would invite some football players to join us to talk about the game and the goals of the season and what have you. So that's our intention with this. It started in 91. The last time this aired was 2007, we believe. So Fenn and I have been in discussions, and we thought we'd just bring this back. A lot of people can't make games for whatever reason, health issues or family or what have you. So we're going to try to bring the game to you guys. So that's how it's going to work. This season preview will be a little shorter than most episodes. We don't really have a ton to talk about. During the season, we'll talk about, like I said before, the team we played previously and the team that we're up against that week. So, Coach, I'm glad to be here, buddy. I appreciate the offer, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I know I've talked to several people that are pretty excited about this Coach's Corner being back. So
yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get the information of the team, and also how the kids will come in. Each week we'll select a couple players. They'll come in and talk, kind of give their opinion about the previous game. We usually select a couple players that did well. So they probably won't like doing it. I didn't like doing it when I did it when I was in high school. But 20 years later, they'll enjoy looking back and seeing themselves on TV.
yeah, absolutely. So if any of you players are watching, we'll be selecting a few to join us next week, and we do not accept yes and no answers. It has to be followed with something else.
That's right. Full answer.
So, Coach, you served as assistant for the first couple of years, and of course, now you're in your second season as the head football coach. Tell us a little bit about last year, your first year as the head football coach.
All right. Yeah, it was a big adjustment. I didn't have a lot of coaching experience. I coached a couple years with Coach Ishii as an assistant. Before that, it was junior high, and that was when I was 26 years old. So it's been a while. But I learned under one of the best, and Coach Acosta, being a player, and then I've been around the program quite a bit, so I kind of knew what to expect. But I'll be honest, it was overwhelming. It's not all the X's and O's; it's the many other things that come along with it. But as the season went, I got more comfortable with the players. They got more comfortable with the plays themselves, the playbook, the defense. I thought it was a special season, really. The community support you would see kind of came back. But the players themselves, they bought into everything we were coaching those guys. So that was the special part to me. There was, all the kids were holding themselves high. You never had any doubters. You never saw anyone blaming anyone. So it was a good year. It was a really good year.
Yeah, I'll not forget meet the team last year when Coach Acosta was sitting right over there and gave those kids one job, and that was to turn this program back around. They did a wonderful job.
Yeah, I think they did. I really did. Those seniors it was a great group of seniors that we had, and they were true leaders, all of them. And they kind of showed those younger guys where they needed to be and what they needed to do throughout the season.
Yeah, Landon Leidick, Carter Knowlton, and Dalton Phillips are the three seniors that we lost this year. And a lot of knowledge and a lot of leadership, a lot of vocal leadership that we're going to miss, especially Landon and Dalton were real vocal, and Carter's talent and speed. So we got a few few holes to fill.
But yeah, we sure do. Yeah, we sure do. Trent Cooper is also a senior. He didn't get as much playing time, but he played a lot of reserve games. You know, scout team guy, really a fast kid, and you know, you need those guys. Whether they're seniors, freshmen, you need the scout team players because that's what makes, you know, good on Friday, the starters. But yeah, losing Carter, Landon, and Dalton, you know, the three starters, you know, on and off the field, they were just great young men. You know, I mean, they had a great attitude about it. They wanted to win. They wanted to help other teammates. You know, very polite kids. You know, with Dalton, he finished the season with 140 total tackles, 60 solo tackles, and 13 tackles for a loss. So that's going to be a big hole to fill on defense. And he also played fullback and did well blocking, ran the ball. But defensively is where we're going to really miss Dalton. And then with Carter and Landon, you know, they finished the year with a combined 966 yards receiving. And that was 72% of our receiving yards last year.
That's remarkable.
It is. So, you know, we're going to have some young receivers step up, which we've got a lot of guys coming up. But anyhow, those were great seniors, great senior class. Few of them, but they were great guys.
Yeah. Well, we wish you for the best of luck in your future for certain. So just like any other coach in the Valley or for the state for that matter, you know, you lose some key players. So now it's time to rebuild, but you've got the roster to do it. So when we return, we'll talk about the Seminole 2024 football roster. Welcome back, everyone. The 2024 season kicks off tomorrow night against the Belpre Golden Eagles. Coach, you had 35 young men in camp all year long, which was a number that's up from previous years, so that's great to hear. You got 13 returning lettermen. You have 8 returning starters on defense and 8 returning starters on offense. So if you would share with us what we can see offensively and defensively and even special teams this season.
Okay. Yeah, there's 35 this year, which, like you said, that number's up. And it helps with competition. I mean, all the way back in the early June practices, 2 days, conditioning. When you have that many kids, you have a lot of competition. And that's what you're seeing so far through the summer practices. And you're right about the returning starters. We've got 8 on both sides of the ball. So, you know, that helps out with the experience, and it helps out showing the young guys, you know, what they need to do. Those guys can show. Offensively, you know, we have Bill Kroll, Ashton Battis, Andrew Pickenball coming back on the line, and also Parker Seifert coming back at center. So those are 4 returning starters on our offensive line this year. We also have coming back, we've got Tucker Howe, obviously, at quarterback, and Malachi McQueer will be fighting for the other spot, the left guard spot this year, along with Sean Heater and Caleb Grimm. We'll see some rotational time on the line. At tight ends, we've been repping Tyler Whitaker and Corbin Farnsworth and Owen Howard at tight ends. And at fullbacks, we've got Clint Rader and Lucas Stiver. They've been taking the reps, and hopefully will step up in Dalton place and become a good fullback. Running backs, we have A.J. Rutter coming back. He had a great sophomore year, great season, great vision as a running back. And also Cooper Howe will be getting some reps at tailback. And we just recently moved Evan Nolan to tailback. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. He's one of the fastest kids on the team. So, you know, we had a lot of receivers, and so I kind of wanted him on the field, so we moved him at tailback, and you'll be seeing him Friday night at tailback. Wide receiver, you know, we've got a lot of skilled guys that can catch the ball. We've got some first-year guys. Chance Allen coming out played basketball. A lot of you guys know him, you know, from basketball team, but he's coming out, looks great so far. I mentioned Corbin Farnsworth at tight end, so he's a first-year guy catching the ball. And also Tucker's brother, Cooper Howe. You know, he'll be split out, catching the ball, big, tall target. And then we've also got Logan Powell, and Max Demchek, and even Evan Nolan still, split out and catch some passes. And then, like I said, we got Tucker at quarterback. I think one of the best quarterbacks in the valley.
Absolutely.
I mean, can make every throw on the field. Great speed, really. So I'm looking forward to a great year offensively.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's fun to watch. He's elusive, and you don't want to be that corner that meets him on the sideline either.
Yeah, he's a big kid, 6'2", 200 pounds or so. So yeah, he can run around, or he can run you over if he needs to.
Well, you got a lot of weapons on offense. Look forward to seeing what Friday brings. Let's move on to the defensive side of the ball.
Okay, yeah, defensively, like I talked about before, we got some big holes to fill with Dalton leaving a middle backer, and then Landon Leidig was defensive end, and Carter was a safety. And all three of those guys made quite a few big plays, whether it be tackles, sacks, interceptions. So we do have some big holes to fill. This summer, we've been just kind of rotating a lot of guys at linebacker. That's going to be our biggest need coming into the season. Trying to figure out who fits best. We've been rotating linebackers, defensive line, just rotating through, see who fits best and how it all works out. At nose, we've been rotating Caleb Grimm and Tyler Whitaker and Lucas Styler at nose guard. Tackles, we've got Bill Kroll, Ashton Battis, Tyler Whitaker, Malachi McQuarrie, and Sean Heater. So it's nice having all those guys. I talked about competition earlier.
Yeah.
It's nice having a rotation where if you're two tackles on defense, you can rotate 4 or 5 guys. Gives them a rest, for offense, things like that. So that's pretty nice. Linebackers, like I mentioned, that's going to be a big need this year. We got to have some guys step up. Right now, we've been rotating on the first team: Cooper Howe, Lucas Styler, AJ Rutter, Ethan Gillespie, and Braden Stemper at linebacker. And all those guys seem to be progressing pretty well. But we'll see Friday night. That's going to be, those are the times you tell Friday nights. So far we've had a couple scrimmages and they looked okay, but we'll see Friday who really steps up and shows they want to play the rest of the season. At corners right now, we've got Tucker Howe, Chance Allen, Max Demchek, and Evan Knowlton. They've been getting reps at our DB and our corner spots. And then at safety, we've been repping Logan Powell, Max Demchek, and Evan Knowlton. And truthfully, at corner, if it shakes out the way we have it right now with Tucker and Chance, those are pretty tall corners.
Yeah.
Those are unusually tall corners, especially for high school football.
Yeah, tall corners that can jump, elevate.
Yeah, they can both dunk it. And, so I don't see too many deep balls getting over their head. At least, hopefully not. We'll see. But no, that's the defense. And like I said, we've been rotating a lot of guys in there, just kind of seeing in on offense too, just seeing who wants to step up and play.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's nice to have this number of 35 kids where you can, afford to give some kids a break because you're not going to lose anything by swapping a few out here and there.
Right.
And we haven't always had that in the past, so that's pretty exciting.
It is.
When we return, we'll talk about the 2024 Monroe Central varsity schedule. We'll also touch base a little on the JV schedule, junior high and youth football schedules. Be back soon. Welcome back, everyone. Coach, it looks like we only have one change to our schedule this year in week 1.
Yes.
Our week 1 opponent is now Belpre Golden Eagles. So can you talk a little bit about the remaining part of the schedule?
Yeah. Well, like you said, we do have one schedule change, and we dropped Edison week 1 and picked up Belpre. We just thought it was a better matchup for us numbers-wise. Edison had, I think they came in both times with 73 kids. So Belpre's in our region, in our division, so we just thought it was a better matchup. Don't know much about them. We'll get into them here in a little bit. But as far as the rest of the schedule, junior high night will be on August 30th against Bridgeport. And these are our 5 home games. And then we're going to have something new this year against River on September 6th. That's the Hall of Fame inductees. We'll announce the Hall of Fame players. That's something new. brand new for everybody this year, so we'll be doing that River Week. And then we'll have the alumni football game this year against Caldwell. That's always a good time. That's September 13th. And we'll be honoring the 1974 and the 1994 team this year. So always look forward to that weekend. It's a good time. The game's usually a good time, and then the entire weekend is always fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. So what we agreed upon is we're always going to invite the 50-year anniversary team. So that's why we invited the 74. And then we always try to choose another one. So we chose 1994 because that's the first ever Central Seminole football team.
Yep. Yeah, and I this doesn't get brought up enough. Truthfully, this is the 30th year of Munner Central football. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen that long.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but that is a good weekend, always fun. And then homecoming will be this year against Magnolia. That's always a good time. A lot of people come in on September 27th. And then finally, senior night will be October 11th against Barnesville. So, and then we've got the away games too, but should be good times at all the home games. There's something planned for every home game. There's an event planned. So,
yeah, it's good to see too that the numbers are up on JV and also our 5th and 6th and 3rd and 4th grade football. And flag football is something new here, but when both evenings that I painted the field out there's a flag football practice out here in the outfield, and there's another one down on the practice field. So that's great to see that the youth program has really picked up as well, and that'll help Monroe Central High School in the future too.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Right now there's kind of football everywhere. Like you said, I can drive around Woodsfield and there's probably 8 practices going on between youth, junior high, flag football, and sometimes us. So this year we have 7 JV games, which last year we had 3. Last year, the first year we ever had a JV game in 10 years. So
that's great.
Yeah. So this year we've got 7 games on the schedule, which just gets the younger guys reps. It's very important to have those JV games for first-year players, younger guys, more inexperienced guys to get the reps against players of their own size, own skill level. So it's important with the development, of the varsity level program. And then, as far as the junior high games, you got a full slate of junior high games this year, youth games, flag football games. So it is great to see all the kids playing because all the numbers are up all the way, junior high, youth, all the way down. And flag football, I think we had roughly 50 kids come out for flag this year. So hopefully they all kind of stick with it and learn. We've got a lot of good coaches in place too, all the way down. So hopefully they stick with it, learn, and eventually are sitting in here one day, playing for the Seminoles. And like I said, if you like football, there's a game almost every day of the week, really, between flag, youth, junior high, and high school.
It's so great to see, all these numbers and all these kids involved. And like I said last year, there was a buzz in the air. So there was some change, and the kids were buying into football, and maybe that's spread down to the youth.
Yeah.
So time will tell.
I agree.
When we return, we're going to take another short break. We'll talk about some of the 7-on-7 and a few of the scrimmages that the Seminoles had in the past couple months. Welcome back once again, Coach. Go ahead and touch base on some of the 7-on-7s and the scrimmages, and then we'll lead right into our week 1 opponent Belpre.
Okay. Yeah, we had 2 7-on-7 this year. The first one was against Shadyside, actually. We played them in the regular season, but I contacted them about doing a 7-on-7 just because I didn't really feel like traveling too far. They were actually going to come up here, but we went down there. But it was a good opponent to have, really. Same size, same numbers of kids. And then we looked pretty good there. Some of those kids get their feet wet as far as like Chance and Corbin and players that hadn't been playing. And then we went to Crooksville, and Crooksville's a good one. It's us, Crooksville, Waterford, and one other team I can't even think of who it was. But anyhow, so you get 20-minute reps over and over and over, you don't really get a break. So it's a lot of football, really quick. But 7-on-7s are, they're like flag football, 2 in touch. You know what I mean? You don't get a real sense of what kind of football team you have. But I thought on both 7-on-7s, our skill guys look very good. Catching the ball, running routes, that's kind of what that builds. DBs get a lot of work on that. So I thought overall we looked good on the scrimmages. And it was another way to build competition, like I said earlier about, having that many kids. We only have, let's say, 2 to 3 receivers out in the field. Well, we've got about 6 guys that can really run good routes and catch a ball. So it gets them a chance to go out there and show us what they can do. Then we jumped into the scrimmages. The first scrimmage was it was against Morgan and Waterford, which they're 2 pretty solid teams.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, two aggressive teams. They've been aggressive since I've been here. We've scrimmaged them, and every year they're very aggressive. So it's kind of a good test for us. And I thought, overall, I thought we held our own. The first scrimmage, the physicality wasn't quite there. I think it was the first time those guys had been playing against someone else, and they've been hitting each other, and they just weren't quite ready for it. But then the second scrimmage we did against Steubenville Catholic Central, I thought physicality was up. I thought we looked really well against them.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what you want to see week by week, getting better and better. Those were always a sign, I thought, of Coach Tracosta coach teams. From week 1 to week 8, you just gradually got better.
Yeah.
So it's good to see them getting better, and hopefully that can carry on to week 1.
Yeah, you want to meet your peak towards the end of the season, carry yourself on into the playoffs.
You sure do. Yep.
Yeah, the first series against Waterford looked a little sketchy to me, and then after that, it's like a totally different team.
Yep. Yeah, they picked it up, and like I said, they gradually picked it up against Steubenville Catholic Central, and like I said, hopefully that carries over against Belpre here in week 1.
Speaking of Belpre, ready or not, buddy, it's week 1.
That's right.
So yeah, we gotta be prepared for certain. We've never played Belpre, so we don't know what they run on defense. So they like to throw the ball, run the ball, what have you. So I'm sure there's some difficulty there trying to look back at old tapes and stuff. But what can we expect tomorrow night?
Well, you are right about it. It comes quick. Like I can remember coming in here, we have a countdown clock over there, and it said 120 days. Well, now it says 2. So it does come quick. But they are a new opponent, and they only had 1 scrimmage this year. They didn't get a scrimmage their second scrimmage. There was some sickness or some kids hurt. I'm not really sure. So we only have 1 tape on them and a couple games from last year that we saw on YouTube. So. From the 1 tape we could see this year, they look like they're a little bit low on numbers, but they look like a scrappy team. They never kind of gave up. They look like they're going to try to fight the entire time. They do run a wing T offense, which is a lot of misdirection. It's quick trap up the middle, and they bring a wing around. It's a lot of misdirection, trying to fool the defense, trying to get them to all come one way, and then the play goes back the other way, counters and things like that. They didn't have, in the 1 game we saw, they didn't have numbers. So as far as like key players, things like that, there wasn't a lot of that. But like I said, they look like a lot of scrappy kids that aren't going to give up. Low numbers, but scrappy kids. So they try to get the ball outside a lot, things like that on offense.
Yeah, so I got a chance to watch their season preview yesterday on YouTube, and they set some pretty lofty goals. They want to win the league that they're in, and they want to make the state playoffs. So it's a hungry team.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Low on numbers or not, they're hungry to win. So we've got to be prepared. And I'm sure you've got the team there.
Yeah, no, you're right about it. It seems like they are hungry. Also on defense, I didn't get a chance to talk. They basically run just a 4-4 base defense. They didn't blitz a lot. They have cover 3 in the secondary, 2 corners and 1 high safety. But they were pretty basic on defense and offense. But like I said, it was only the first scrimmage. We didn't get to see a lot. That doesn't really tell us much. But they definitely looked hungry. All right, they looked like they were ready to come out and compete every week. Also, since we've never played them before, just talking about their field a little bit and address to their field. It is a grass field. I think it's right by their school. The address is 612 3rd Street, Belpre, Ohio. Other than that, it looked like there was seating on both sides, home side and visitor side. Other than that, I really don't know much about the field or the team. So we're going to find out tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
That's right.
All right, Coach, we're near the end of this thing. Why don't you throw a few final thoughts out to the people listening?
Yeah, I hope this team, can make the community proud. I mean, that's my biggest thing. These young men, a lot of them have been playing, been starting for 3 years. This will be their 4th year. This is a big senior class, and they have big expectations. So hopefully they can just come out, play some great Seminole football like we have in the past, and make you guys proud.
Perfect. Coach, once again, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
To be here this evening. For everyone watching, this is a wrap on the 2024 season preview. Look forward to seeing everybody out there tomorrow night at Belpre supporting the Noles. And check us out again next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Go Noles.